Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a really cool idea in AI called policy improvement. This is basically the how behind an AI going from just guessing randomly to actually making smart, strategic decisions.
So you see these AIs that can master chess or solve crazy complex problems, right? But how? How do they actually learn to get better? Well, it's not magic, I promise. It's a really logical process of just refining their game plan. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
All right, so here's the plan. We'll kick things off with why this is so important. Then we'll use a simple analogy, your daily commute, to make it all click. After that, we'll look at the two key steps: knowing your path and then choosing a better one. And finally, we'll pull it all together to see the full picture. Okay, so in the world of reinforcement learning, an AI's plan or its strategy is called a policy. You can just think of it as a set of rules, if this happens, do that. But here's the thing. That first plan, it's almost never the best one. It's just a starting point. The real challenge, the whole game, is figuring out how to make that plan better and better over time. And that's really the core idea here. Learning isn't about getting it perfect on the first try. No way! It's all about refinement. It's about taking that initial guess, that rough draft of a plan, and then, with every bit of experience, slowly but surely turning it into a truly expert strategy. Okay, so to make this whole thing less abstract, let's bring it down to earth with something we can all relate to. That daily struggle to find the absolute fastest way to get to work. So picture this. You just moved to a new city. Your phone gives you a route to work, and for the first few days, you just follow it. But then you start noticing things. You're hitting the same red light, sitting in the same traffic jam every single day. And you start to think, I wonder, is there a better way? A secret shortcut, maybe? Believe it or not, that's the exact same question the AI is asking. So let's map this out. In AI speak, your policy is just your current route to work. A state? That's just any intersection where you have a choice to make. An action is, well, which way you decide to turn. And the reward? That's the sweet, sweet feeling of shaving a few minutes off your commute. Pretty simple when you put it like that, right? All right, so if you want to find a better route, what's the first step? You're not just going to start randomly turning down side streets, right? That would be total chaos. No, the first and honestly most important step is to actually figure out how good or bad your current route is. And in reinforcement learning, this has a name. It's called policy evaluation. And notice the word evaluation. We're not changing a thing yet. We're basically on a fact-finding mission. We're just observing, learning which parts of our plan are great and which parts are the reason we're always stuck in traffic. This whole process builds something super important in the AI's brain called a value function. Honestly, just think of it as your mental traffic map. After driving the same route for a week, you just know, don't you? You know that the intersection near the park is always clear. That's a high-value spot. And the one downtown is a nightmare, a low-value spot. That gut feeling, that internal knowledge, that's your value function. Okay, so you've built your mental traffic map. What now? Well, this is where the magic happens. You're not driving blind anymore. You have actual knowledge, actual data. And now you can start using that knowledge to make way smarter choices. This is the big aha moment. This is policy improvement. We're taking what we've learned and actually changing our plan. We look at our mental traffic map, our value function, and we decide to act greedily. Now, greedy sounds bad, but in AI, it just means you choose the option that looks best right now, based on all the information you've gathered. It's the smart, immediate choice. So let's go back to our commute. You're at that big, busy intersection. Your old policy, your old habit, was to just plow straight ahead into the traffic. But today is different. Today, you check your mental map, your value function, and it's screaming at you that the side street is totally clear. So you make a new choice. You turn right. That simple act, right there, that is policy improvement in a nutshell. Okay, but here's the really important part. This isn't a one-and-done kind of deal. You don't find one little shortcut and then just stop. These two steps we've talked about, evaluating and then improving, they work together in this powerful, continuous cycle. And this whole cycle has a name too. It's called policy iteration. Think about it. First, you evaluate your route. Then, you improve it. But you don't stop. Now you take that new, slightly better route and you evaluate it. Maybe you learn its traffic patterns and find another, even better improvement. Each time you go through this loop, you're spiraling up towards a better and better solution until you finally land on the best possible route, the optimal policy. And that right there, That's the real engine of learning for so many AIs. It's not some big flash of genius. It's this steady, methodical, almost humble process of try something, figure out how well it worked, and then use that knowledge to make a slightly smarter choice the next time around.
So if there's one thing you take away from all this, what should it be? It's this. You make your policy better by acting greedily with respect to its own value function. In plain English, you make the smartest choice you can in the moment based on a really solid understanding of how good your current plan is. When it all comes down to it, it's about this. It's about learning the value of your current plan just so you have the wisdom to change it for the better.